Canes fans, Canes fans, Canes fans, Canes fans. Man, listen. I was watching YouTube today, and I saw a video Groove posted, Big Groove. And it was a lot of interesting dialogue in that video. And Groove is a guy who I didn't really agree with a lot of his talking points last year in reference to Manny Diaz. Because one of my biggest gripes against Manny last year was the fact that people continue to make the excuse to say, well, Manny doesn't have his guys in here, wait till Manny gets his guys in here, wait till Manny gets his guys in here. And we're like, listen, this entire defense is his guys. We see that his guys are not necessarily improving. So we don't need to see the offensive side of the ball turn into this, right? But that was that, right? But what I've noticed here, man, is that the amount of excuses that have been made for our Miami Hurricanes, well, not our Miami Hurricanes, for Coach Mario Cristobal, right? Some of the excuses are valid. Some of the other excuses are just downright reaching for, just pulling stuff out of the air, man. And it's one thing that I learned. When you like somebody, regardless of what can be dead in your face, you're going to find a way to still like that person, right? I'm just going to go through a few of the excuses that just irk me, man. They just irk me. Really irk me, right? From things that I see on Facebook, from things that I see on 247, where I'm very active on 247. I'm somewhat active on Facebook. But some of this stuff just irks me, man. So I'm going to start with the one at the very top. Well, you shouldn't compare Mario's first year to Lincoln Riley's first year. Now, I'm going to answer this in two parts. The first part, I'm going to say, yeah, you're right. Let's not compare Lincoln Riley and Mario Cristobal's first year. Let's not do that. But I'm not doing it for the reason that many Cane fans are doing it. I'm doing it for the reason that Coach Hayes brought up. And that reason is Mario has to hit on an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator every time that position is open. And I'm paraphrasing. Anytime that we lose an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator, Mario has to hit on that position, on those two positions. Especially if it's a situation where both jobs are open. Lincoln Riley didn't have that issue. Lincoln Riley has mastered the offensive side of the ball. So all Lincoln Riley had to do was find a defensive coordinator. So it's really an apples to oranges situation, which is why in the grand scheme of things, I think Mario's comparison is not Butch Davis. It's Les Miles. Les Miles' history is very similar to Mario's. Both guys have a background offensive line. Both guys have, coached tight ends, right? Both guys are known as strong recruiters. And from what we saw at Oregon and from what we saw at LSU, the offensive philosophy is the same, as long as you can get the talent in the building, right? But that's a whole other conversation, right? That's why I don't want to compare him to Lincoln Riley. However, the second part of it is, yes, we can compare him to Lincoln Riley. Canes fans. Well, Lincoln Riley went and got Caleb Williams. He brought Caleb Williams with him, got Mario Williams, got Jordan Addison, got Travis Dye to come down from Oregon. Like Big Groove said, I'm going to take your words, which a lot of these words are from people that have said these things on 247. I'm going to take your words and I'm going to put your words back in your face, and I want you to dispute Your own words. If we polled 100 Miami Hurricane fans, if we polled 100 of them, and we asked them, do you think Tyler Van Dyke is a top 5 quarterback? Now, again, this is hindsight. This is before the Bethune-Cookman game. This is before he was taken out of the game against Middle Tennessee State University. This is what we saw at the end of last year. Is Tyler Van Dyke a top 5 quarterback in all of college football? What would 100 Cane fans say in that poll? Yes. Are you crazy? Tyler Van Dyke is a top 5 quarterback. As a matter of fact, some are going to put a little extra sauce on it. I'm not taking Tyler Van Dyke. I'm not taking any quarterback over Tyler Van Dyke. Those are Canes fans. Okay, let's take another 100 Canes fans, because we've already established that these 100 already feel that he's a top 5 quarterback in all college football. It doesn't matter what 5 you put up there. I mean, it's the general 5. It's Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Tyler Van Dyke, Sam Hartman, and Caleb Williams. Some people may want to put Devin Leary in there, Will Levis, whatever. And when I say top 5, I'm talking about the guys that had eligibility to return to the school, even though I would venture to say that this past quarterback draft, the 5 that had eligibility left to come back were better than the guys that got drafted last year. But I digress. Let's take another 100 Cane fans in a poll. At the conclusion of last year, do you think Tyler Van Dyke looked better than Caleb Williams? Of course he did. They played roughly the same amount of games. Tyler Van Dyke had more yards. Tyler Van Dyke had more touchdowns. And for anyone that say, well, Caleb Williams played against tougher company. No. NC State had a top 25 defense. Pitt had a good defense. Tyler Van Dyke, Michael Myers, and just slicing and dicing them. That's what we saw. Should have won Virginia. That was a Manny Diaz blow. Should have won Virginia. North Carolina probably should have won that one too. Interception on the last pass, similar to North Carolina this year. But we're not talking about that, right? So tell me, we got a poll that we've polled 200 Cane fans. And all of them agree that Tyler Van Dyke is a top 5 quarterback. And they agree that Tyler Van Dyke played better than Caleb Williams. So let's go back to the opening press conference, the introductory press conference of Coach Mario Cristobal. What did Coach say? Tyler Van Dyke is a top quarterback in college football. Now, of course, that's coach speak. The coach is supposed to say that. No coach is going to come in and say, my goodness, man, I got the quarterback room effed up, the running back room effed up, wide receiver room effed up. It's effed up. No. He said what we're supposed to say. But was he lying? Was he lying? Was he lying? At the conclusion of last year, that statement Mario Cristobal made was a fact. It was the truth. But the excuse that Cane fans are giving why Lincoln Riley is having a better year is because Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Tyler Van Dyke. So which is it? Are you saying that you lied? You lied? Are you saying that what Tyler Van Dyke did at the end of last year wasn't real? Because he did it against equivalent competition that Caleb Williams did it against. He just did a little bit better. So are you saying now, oh, he's not good? We lied. Shad, we lied. Tyler Van Dyke wasn't good. And some on 247 are saying, Rashad, we lied so much that Jake Garcia was actually going to win the quarterback competition. Okay. Also, didn't Mario have the same opportunity to get Jordan Addison as Lincoln Riley did? Didn't he? Didn't Mario Cristobal have the same opportunity to go and get some other receivers from the portal? We got Frank Ladson. He's an ace recruiter, remember? Oh, no, Rashad, remember? Mario, this transfer portal thing is new to him. He's not... Wait a minute. Don't y'all remember that DJ Johnson, didn't DJ Johnson transfer to go? Never mind. That's the first excuse, right? The second one, and I'm going in order of the ones that irk me the most. The second one, well, Mario doesn't have his guys in the building. Mario ain't got his players. Look at this roster. Mario wouldn't. These are not guys Mario wants. Again, going back to Coach Hayes, I said this on the 247 board. Go hit the little thing on the side. Go to commitments. And no. Go to Google. Just type in random players' names and type 247 beside them that are on our team. And look at the offers. And ding, 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 guess what you'll see? Oregon offered. Yes. Well, they've been polluted by Manny Diaz. I'm going to get to the culture thing because ooh, boy, that's a doozy. I'm going to get to the culture in a minute. But technically speaking, we already have guys on this team that Mario Cristobal wanted. So let's go back to his tenure at Oregon. Since he needs his players to win, according to Canes fans, let's put some facts. Let's put some facts here. Mario Cristobal took over, first year coaching, 2018. 1 year after our favorite Uncle Willie hightailed it down to Tallahassee to get treated bad, right? But so let's paint the picture. Mark Helfrich, 2015, Oregon, 2014. Well, it was 2015 because he got fired in 2016. So Oregon played a juggernaut in the Ohio State Buckeyes. A juggernaut. They lost. Oregon had a lot of talent on that team. Oregon comes back the next year, goes 4-8. So what's interesting? So this is where we start. 4-8. So they had, I want to say, the class that Justin Herbert came in with was the 8th ranked recruiting class going into that 4-8 season. Justin Herbert was a freshman, which means that he, along with the rest of his class, were freshmen in 2016. Follow me. They go 4-8 that first year. Okay? Well, Helfrich is last year. So he still has a recruiting class, right? That Willie Taggart, Mario Cristobal and company were able to come in and salvage, which I believe, according to 247, was 18th. So you're coming in the building with the 8th ranked and the 18th ranked class, right? So in 2017, Justin Herbert's class would be sophomores. The class they salvaged, freshmen. Mario Cristobal's first year coaching, he went 9-4. Justin Herbert's class, juniors. That recruiting class they had to salvage, sophomores. Mario Cristobal salvaging Willie Taggart. Well, I ain't gonna say he was salvaging Willie Taggart class because he was recruiting there too. So Mario's first recruiting class for Oregon, salvaged that. 9-4. Time for the big year. 12-2. This is what I love about the internet. I'm gonna tell you how this set up. I was on Facebook, and somebody said the main reason we need to give Mario time is look at what that Oregon team is doing with his players. Now, full disclosure, Mario needs 3-4 5 years or whatever he needs. I'm not on the bandwagon of he needs to be fired, right? So I don't want you to think that's what's going on here. But again, let's put context to it. So I commented on Facebook and I said, hey, wait a minute now. If that's the logic that we're going to use, then we also have to say that Mario had his most success with Mark Helfrich's players. People put the laughing emoji thing in there and all that stuff like that. And I'm sitting up here thinking like, wow. So let's put some Canes fan logic to this. Larry Coker had his most success with Butch Davis's players. Larry Coker won a national championship in 2001. Larry Coker went back to the national championship game and lost in 2002. Larry Coker had a 10-win season in 2003, and then it fell off. Why did it fall off again? According to Canes fans, Butch Davis players left. Oh, okay. So you're saying 2 years after Butch Davis is gone, his players are still on the team, which similar to Mario Cristobal. Let's put this together. Similar to Mario Cristobal, Ken Dorsey and company's class were juniors in 01. Justin Herbert were juniors in 2017. 2002, Ken Dorsey and his class were seniors. Justin Herbert and his class were seniors, as well as another class underneath them that were recruited by Mark Helfrich. So when I say Mario had his most success, we got to put that into context. His best year was 2019. Rose Bowl victory. Won the Pac-12. The year after that, COVID, I don't really count that, 4-3, blah, blah, blah. Last year went 10-4. Won the conference in 2020, but with an asterisk beside it, but still won the Pac-12. But it was definitive in 2019. So realistically, yes, he did experience his most success with Mark Helfrich's players with the sample size of information that we have available. So why is that interesting? It's interesting because Mario Cristobal has shown that he can win with other guys' players. Players who are part of a team that went 4-8. He needs his players to beat Duke. He needs his players to beat Middle Tennessee State. Now, again, we got some injuries. But like Groove said, and as much as I wanted to disagree with Groove all last year, he was right. We didn't give Manny the injury excuse last year. So much so, we gave Mario... No, I'm not going to say we, because Mario wasn't my first choice. Mario Cristobal was given the injury excuse last year. Oh, well, they weren't healthy. They would have beat Utah if they were healthy. Look at the amount of injuries that they had. And when you put it side by side, Miami had the same amount of injuries last year as Oregon had. And to take it a step further, the past 2 years, Miami has had the same amount of players drafted as Oregon. Huh? Oregon had 1 player drafted last year and had 6 players go to the combine. Mario's players, not Mark Helfrich's players. Now we're on Mario's players. And I'm going to say this and then I'm going to be finished with this whole, his talent, right? Why is this assumption going on that if Mario gets his guys in here, that every guy that Mario brings in is better than every player that we have on our current roster? Because that was the whole mindset that Canes fan had when we brought these transfers in. Oh man, Caleb Johnson's going to play over Corey Flagg. He ain't. Oh, Daryl Porter going to come in, lock down the number 2 corner spot. He didn't. Daryl Jackson balling. Akeem Mesidor balling. Henry Parrish is balling. Oh, Frank Lasson is gonna come in and he's gonna be that 5-star. He must switch his number. I know he number 8. Did he add the other 8? Oh no, that's Kobe Young. Again, another guy that was brought in. But again, these are Canes fans feeling like someone else's school has more talent than us, when going back to Al Golden. Let's go back to Al Golden for a second. Al Golden, first year, 2011. Al Golden was not allowed to have 6 key contributors play for that team because of the Nevin Shapiro crap. They were suspended. Al Golden circled the wagons, went 6-6 year one. Nobody gave Al Golden an excuse for that. Some people may have said, well, come on, man, we got some players missing. They saw that 3-4 defense on the field, and they said, oh, no, this ain't going to work at all. Al Golden didn't get an excuse for that. Mario Cristobal ain't dealing with that. You guys have said, since Randy Shannon was here, and I'm going to get on Randy Shannon in a minute, it's not been the talent, it's been the coaching. So y'all picked 2022 to switch that narrative, to say, no, now it's the players. I remember back during fall camp when Al Golden was here. And I remember verbatim on 247 it said, Al Golden was saying we're struggling with tackling. And what did Canes fans say? That's coaching. That's coaching. Manny Diaz, last couple of years here, Canes struggled with tackling. Whose fault was that? That's coaching. That's coaching. 2022, Canes, the Miami Hurricanes are struggling with tackling. Whose fault is that? The players are soft. We got too many South Florida players on the team. They soft, they spoiled, they divas. These are things that you guys said. I have the best responsibility, right? I predicted 10-2. But I'm going to tell you why I predicted 10-2. I predicted 10-2 for the simple fact we got Tyler Van Dyke. I predicted 10-2 because Kevin Steele and Charlie Strong are going to be over the defense. I predicted 10-2 because our biggest threat, North Carolina, Sam Howell's gone. That running back is gone. Y'all hired Gene Chizik as the defensive coordinator. Oh, wow. We supposed to get that W. Virginia, new coaching staff. Virginia Tech, new coaching staff. Georgia Tech coach on the hot seat. Ultimately, he got fired. Pitt, Kenny Pickett is gone, and the offensive coordinator is gone. So, Florida State, dumpster fire. Even though we lost to them last year, this is Memphis Mike, baby. So, beat Bethune, beat Southern, lose to Clemson and Texas A&M. Because the blue chip ratio says they got better talent than we got. 10-2. That was my reason for going there. Nowhere did I do what many of my 247 comrades did and say this is the greatest staff Miami has ever hired. Now, Josh Gas needs to be fired. But I'm trying to stay on topic. Excuses. So the next excuse. Somebody said that we got too many South Florida players on the team. Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State, they come cherry pick the ones that they want. They get the top tier. They don't want the rest. We got too many on our team. Alabama cherry picks from Louisiana. They cherry picked from Georgia. They went and got Mark Ingram from Flint, Michigan. They went and cherry picked Bryce Young out of Cali. They went to Hawaii and cherry picked Tua Tagovailoa. Georgia, by all accounts, 2 years ago, Georgia had a multitude of South Florida players on the team. And they weren't soft. They weren't divas. Clemson, yeah, they dip in and get, one or two every now and again. But this is my thing. Why would the University of Alabama, Georgia, or Clemson have more South Florida players on their team than Miami? That's like saying Miami should have more players from the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham area than Alabama. Or Miami should have more players from the Atlanta area, wherever Georgia's biggest recruiting base is, than Georgia. Miami should have more Carolina players on their team than Clemson. That is the logic. Alabama gonna have more players from Alabama on Alabama. Mostly probably around Tuscaloosa. I mean, I don't really know how they used to play ball, but that's just common sense. USC probably has more LA players on it than Oregon, Texas. I'm sure the University of Texas probably has more players from Houston. These are Canes fans saying this stuff, man. And let's get down to the big one. It's the last on my list, but it's the biggest one. Culture. Mario gotta rid this culture. This is an infestation. This culture is disgusting. It is eating away at the very core. We need a complete roster turnover. We need to do what Michigan State did when Mel Tucker came in there and said, "What is this filth? We need to get this out of here." Culture. Let's talk about culture, shall we? Let's start from Randy Shannon and we will work our way up to present day. Culture. How about them Canes? Remember that? Y'all remember that? That's what Randy Shannon said in the opening press conference. How about them Canes? Randy Shannon, in my opinion, had the absolute hardest job of any recent Miami coach. Why do you say that? We had a Hurricane player murdered at his apartment. Rest in peace. We recently just found out he was murdered by a teammate. So let's put that where it needs to be put. What type of culture are we dealing with when your brother, we are Canes, we are one. We going on this field to battle. We're going on a green tree every single day, busting our butt to be better. What type of culture we got going on where a teammate murders another teammate? We got Miami, the brawl, players taking helmets off. Lamar Thomas up in the announcement booth saying, "This is what happens when you mess with them Canes." This is what Randy Shannon is tasked with trying to fix. Did anybody say, "Man, Randy got a tough job to get that culture fixed"? No. What did they say? Randy Shannon's the worst head coach in Miami Hurricane history. Randy Shannon burnt bridges to South Florida schools. Randy Shannon was only a good defensive coordinator because he was coaching kids that Butch recruited. Onion is an onion. Randy Shannon is the reason that we lost our last game in the Orange Bowl. Nothing about Randy Shannon being a Broyles Award winner. Nothing about Randy Shannon having to having to fight the administration to keep players away from Nevin Shapiro when the freaking administration can't even stay away from Nevin Shapiro? And you talk about culture? What is Mario dealing with that equates to a teammate murdering another teammate? A rogue booster, Ponzi scheme artist running around, giving Miami checks, giving players checks, freaking trying to get the whole program shut down. Mario got to deal with a culture? Let's move on. Al Golden comes in because we got to fire Onion. and guess what we're going to do? We ain't going to pay him all his money. Culture? We talk about culture? Come on, people. We talking about culture here. All right, so moving on. Al Golden gets hired. I told y'all first game of the year, Al Golden had to deal with not having 6 of our best players available due to Nevin Shapiro's meddling. Even though, again, the administration didn't have a problem, we got Donna Shalala on camera taking a picture with a check. Randy Shannon loses his job. Donna Shalala continues to go on about her business. We got to get this hospital built. Did anybody investigate whether or not some of that money that was used for the hospital was... Never mind. Y'all will catch that. So not only is Al Golden told that you're not going to have 6 best players, we are being blindsided by an NCAA violation or investigation. Culture. Yeah, Al, not going to be bowl eligible. Going to take a few scholarships away. We don't want any of those former players on the sideline. No. We don't want that. Going back to Lamar Thomas, they want us in the hall. They want us on the wall, but they don't want us in the hall. So we don't want that, Al. Please don't do that, Al. Culture. 2013 rolls around. We have Ryan Williams on scholarship. Ryan Williams transferred in from the University of Memphis. War number 11, Ken Dorsey, favorite player. Ryan Williams tears his ACL. We bring Brad Collier in over the summer. James Coley went and got him. Found him, looked at him, gotta have him, came in the summer. Ryan Williams was ready to play. But Al Golden, thinking that, you know what, they blindsided me with this, I'm gonna roll the dice with the young guy. Roll the dice until we get this figured out. Split the team in half. Culture. Split the team in half. Split the team in half because the upperclassmen felt that Ryan Williams had paid his dues. Ryan Williams needs to start. Younger guys in here like, man, listen. Culture. Y'all don't want to win. Y'all don't care about winning. Some of y'all on the team when we just... No. They wouldn't be on the team. They wouldn't be on that team. They were gone by then. They would be gone by then. But some of y'all was on this team when we were 6-6. Y'all don't want to win. We rolled the dice with Brad Collier. Locker room split. I want to say it was either after that Louisville game in 2012, where Charlie Strong led that Louisville team and we played them in the bowl game. Obviously, Duke had got hurt that year. I believe that was when he got hurt against Florida State. messed up his ankle. Cane fans said, man, if Duke would have played, we would have beat Louisville. I don't know. Brad Kite comes out first game, has to play against that same Louisville defense again. Well, playing it for the first time. And I want to say after that bowl game, I want to say Chad Thomas and Kamala, I believe, got into it. Because he didn't take the loss as hard as Chad Thomas took the loss. Culture. So you got the older guys fighting the younger guys. Well, the younger guys having to fight. You got to think about this. Chad Thomas just came from a team that they spanked Bishop Gorman. They ran South Florida. He was right there with Nick Saban, and we were able to get him. And he got to come here, and these guys don't care about winning the way that he cares because of the background that he just came from. Culture. So obviously, we know how Al Golden's career ended. 58-0. Clemson. Again, we didn't give Al Golden all these excuses. Nobody said, oh, it's a culture issue. It's a culture issue. Nobody said, oh, wait till Al Golden gets his players in here. Why? Because Al Golden can't recruit. So we don't care if he gets his guys in here or not. He can't recruit. He can't coach. Get him out of here. We done sent pizzas to his house. Canes fans, I wasn't a part of that. We still ain't got over him going to interview for that Penn State job. Fired. Coaching search. Oh, man. We might get Butch. We might get Butch to come back in this thing. No, we don't get Butch. We get Mark Richt. And this is where this whole conversation gets interesting to me. Mark Richt comes in. From a somewhat resume standpoint, you compare Mark Richt's first 4 years at Georgia to Mario's first 4 years at Oregon, we'll see some similarities, right? Mark Richt comes in first year, goes 9-4. Now that 9-4 was a little tricky because Mark Richt, similar to Mario Cristobal, had in their mind what they felt this offense should look like. Even though you have two quarterbacks who can throw the ball around the yard. We went on a 4-game skid. And I remember, it was the Pittsburgh game. I was so pissed. I said, man, I'm not watching this, man. Mark Richt and him and his son. And Mark Richt said, nah. Brad, you want to toss it around the yard? Let's toss it around the yard. Mon Richards goes on to break Michael Irvin's freshman receiving record. We're going on a winning streak. West Virginia smoked them. Smoked them. Nobody said anything about culture was an issue when Mark Richt was here. 2016. 2017 comes. Magical year. Malik Rozier quarterback. As much as flack that me and some of my other 247 comrades gave Malik Rozier, I just got to keep it a buck. He played well. We wanted more out of him, but he played well. Let's go back to guys being soft. What happened? What also happened in 2017? A hurricane happened. Guys couldn't play. And when we could play, we had to play back to back to back to back. And for those guys to play at such a high level, obviously the wheels came off against Pitt and Clemson, and then Wisconsin did what they wanted to do. But the adversity that those guys went through, you can't tell me that these guys were soft and we had divas in the building. Same excuses. You know, these are excuses that we giving Mario Cristobal, right? This 2017, these are Al Golden's players. We never said, oh, wait, Mark Richt get his guys in here. Never said that. Mark Richt never got that excuse. 2018 came. Still, nobody said Mark Richt need to get his players in. No, what was said? Mark Richt need to go. Mark Richt is holding this team back. And this is where we get to this conclusion. My 247 buddies. As the 2018 season was going on, I remember someone made a post where they said that Shaq Quarterman had went to Manny Diaz's office. And he went to Manny Diaz's office to tell Manny, we trying to go lift. Coach Felder ain't here. 247 buddies continue to say, Mark Richt is letting the program go down. He's not making them lift. He's not making them do this. He got a happy-go-lucky attitude about it. He's on retirement. He had his last good year. That ain't gonna happen with Manny. Boy, if Manny was the head coach, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be going on with Manny. I'm trying to be serious when I say this because this is what Canes fans said. This wouldn't happen with Manny. One thing about the players on the defense, they know they can't do that with Manny. The defense is out here pulling all the weight because the defense respect Manny. Offense don't respect Mark Richt and John Richt. Later is announced Mark Richt is having health issues. They gave Mark Richt a proposition. Fire your son, bring an offensive coordinator, or you can go. Mark Richt said, well, check this out. I don't want to fire my son. I'm really burnt out. Let's say that in there too. Never forget, Mark Richt was burnt out and and led us to 19 wins in 2 years. Burnt out. Not with his players, though. These weren't his players. Then, again, 247. Well, Mario Richt said, well, he'll walk away and leave the money on the table. Y'all hire Manny Diaz. The shortest coaching search in the world. Paid Manny's Temple buyout to bring him back in here. I'll be first to tell you. I didn't like the hire. I didn't like the hire at all. Because I got tired of Manny Diaz. Because I didn't see any progression or any growth from the linebacking core. The position that he was coaching. I didn't see any growth. But I said, you know what? Hey, it is what it is. Nobody said anything about the culture. Yeah, yes, we did. We're talking about culture. All Manny had to fix was the offensive side of the ball. Remember, Canes fans? Remember? Because the defenses, they already locked in. They'll run through a freaking brick wall, butt naked, through fire, through a snowstorm, through a blizzard. They'll do all that for Manny Diaz because they respect Manny Diaz. All you got to do is fix the offense. Okay. I ain't got to go through Manny Diaz's tenure because it's still fresh on everybody's brain. So let's go right now. We got Virginia this Saturday. Culture. Now these same Canes fans are saying, well, you know, Manny let him do whatever he wanted to do. Manny did this, Manny did that. We had no business pulling out the turnover chain when we down 45 points. Manny wouldn't do anything. Manny this, Manny that. But just in 2018, y'all said Manny was a disciplinarian. Y'all said Manny had the defense focused. There wasn't going to be none of that foolishness going on. That's what y'all said. Manny Diaz going to fix the culture. All you gotta do is fix the offense. It's some entitled brats over there. Didn't say South Florida brats. Some brats over there. Got some men over here on the defensive side of the ball. Manny Diaz gonna fix all that. And how Manny Diaz come in and fix that? We're gonna bring in Tate Martell. Because N'Kosi Perry and Jerry Williams, they just not mature enough. And then when it's all said and done, in the dust settles, Jerry Williams pulls it out. Jerry Williams know Manny wasn't playing. Look how Manny got Jerry Williams to focus back on the game. That didn't work. So what did Manny do? Manny gonna come back and fix the offense again. Where we gonna go? We're gonna go get De'Aaron King. The King me, baby. Because Manny gonna fix this. Defense falling apart. Don't forget that. Defense is in shambles over here. Last year, the mindset was, these are not Manny's players. So y'all was already set. Y'all were giving Manny the same excuse y'all giving Mario. These are not Manny's players. Play the young guys. Finish strong. Young guys gonna show y'all why they need to be on the field. They did. And now, as we come to a conclusion, somebody said play the young guys. And I won't forget, because I was watching Footballville and Coach Hayes is on there, and somebody said play the young guys, and nobody caught it, but I caught it. Coach Hayes said these are the young guys. These are the young guys, people. And those are just a few, as we come to a close, those are just a few of the excuses, man, that Mario Cristobal is getting that other guys didn't get. Randy Shannon did not get that excuse. People talking about the coaches down right off. I'm not gonna claim to be an insider whatsoever. I'm not gonna be claiming to be an insider whatsoever. But I know doggone well that culture ain't nothing like what Randy Shannon had to inherit. I know it ain't nothing like what Al Golden had to inherit. And I'm trying to figure out how the culture wasn't an excuse in 2016 and 2017 with a coach similar to Mario Cristobal who's already worked at a big job before. How? And I'm going to leave y'all guys on this. And this is my last one. Mario rebuilt Oregon. I already gave y'all the backdrop of the freshman class, but I wanna bring something up. And I want to ask this question. And I'm concluding. It's an open-ended question. If Mario rebuilt Oregon because they went from a playoff team to 4-8, and then 3 years later they were 12-2. Did Urban Meyer rebuild Ohio State when they went from 12-1 to 6-7, losing to us in 2011, Al Golden's first year, and then they come back and went 12-0? Did he rebuild Ohio State? I don't know. But anyway, like, subscribe, share, and if you don't share or like or subscribe, I'm going to come up with an excuse as why you didn't. Peace.